Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, welcome to FFTV and our new dial-in show. Dial-in with Des and Dino. Oh, sorry, Ez
Dining
and
with
Dino.
what?
This is our new calling show, just for you guys. So you moaned about us not giving you a voice. Here's your voice. We want you to call in. We want you to give your opinions, and we'll sit back quietly and listen for a change. But Dino, I'm looking forward to this, mate. It's a good chance for us to spread our wings a little bit, me and you.
Yeah, me and you. No Wolverine.
Yes,
He's
two of us.
taking the
Yeah,
night off
no,
in the background as a mod.
we've exiled into the background, but I'm just going to quickly bring up some of the guys who are already in the chat. And amazing, 40 of you already waiting. You guys need to get a life, genuinely. But this one, especially Stony.
Yeah, Stoney was in at like 6.
It's always the first one in. Mohammed, definitely we will have you on. We'll give you the format in a couple of minutes. We'll talk you through the show, but I think the link's pinned in the chat. So when we give you the heads up, well, you can get in now if you want to, but we're going to give you the structure of the show, and then you guys can ring in and give your opinions. But I think we decided what we're going to do, basically split into two halves. So first half, we're going to talk about the transfer window, or you guys are going to talk about the transfer window and give us your opinions on that. And on the second half, we'll talk about the 25-man squad announcement from today. So depending on which part you want to talk about most, please dial in accordingly.
Tell us in the chat which part do you want to talk about most.
Absolutely.
We'll wait it. I mean, potentially we could do it all together, can't we? Because the new signings are in the squad, so potentially we can have a long one.
Potentially, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
I just want to
let us know if you want to call in, guys, just so we can sort of pace out this this stream well. And we've got somebody in the background already who's very keen. So
yeah, just one more kind of quick housekeeping rule, guys. So if you are going to join, you do need to have your camera on in the background so we can identify you. Once we have identified you, then if you wish to switch your camera off before you come on stage, you're welcome to do so. But yeah, just before you come on, make sure you got your cameras on backstage, please, guys. Dino, so do you want to go straight into it? Should we get our first guest on?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Right. In fact, I'll let him get ready. So I just bring up a few more of our chat while Mohammed's getting himself sorted. But definitely, yeah, Harvey, if you want to pop on and talk about
a thumbs up when you're ready, Mohammed. Oh, it's gone.
No worries, guys. But yeah, like I said, yeah, get yourselves in the background. The links in the chat. Should be a good show. We're basically looking for you guys to lead the show, because this is for you. This is your opportunity to speak all that built up frustration or anger you might have had over, or excitement you might have had over transfer window, and your thoughts obviously on what went on today in terms of the 25-man squad. Who you're happy to see in, who you're happy to see omitted, or who you're a little bit disappointed to see. There's a few Shelby fans, aren't there, Dino? I mean,
yeah, me.
both Shelbys.
Just me. Chat, have you just let me know? Just let us know in the chat if you've actually seen the squad or not seen. Let us know if you've not seen the squad today. That would be quite useful.
Do you want to bring it up, Dino?
I can.
We'll save you letting us know. We will bring up the 25-man squad. Dino's gone to a lot of effort on this, so let's bring it up. And,
5 minutes. 5 minutes on Canva.
don't kill the magic, mate. We don't need to know. Right, here we go.
Right. So, any surprises for you there, Ez? Not for me, I'm afraid.
No, to be honest, I think we weren't 100% sure when it was going to be announced, to be honest, because there was loads of different.
We were hoping it's today.
Yeah, but
there's only one mission. Well, there's 2 missions, isn't there? Obviously, Dennis, and there's Horvath as well. He's been, then he's still not got a club, so. I think that's pretty good, mate, to be honest, personally. I think with the under-21s that we've got, which you can see in the signings, Murillo, Elanga, and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ahmed Ahmedali. He's my boy.
I think that's a really great squad. I don't know what the chat think, but yeah, I think that's good. I'm not sure who's going to be number 1 this year. I'm rooting for Turner. I've got my Turner flag out.
All right, we've got Mohammed. Give me a wave if you're ready, mate. Just a thumbs up if you're ready, and then I'll get you on. Let me get rid of this.
There's some Campbell lovers in the house, I'll tell you that much.
And Tim, we'll get to you as well. I can see you backstage. Or Mohammed, are you ready?
Mohammed, give us a thumbs up, yeah?
Yeah.
Ready?
Right, Mohammed, I'm going to bring you one if you're ready, mate. Okay. Right. Up to stage.
Hey, Mohammed, big fan, aren't you? You're always here. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
I'm fine. You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
How are you?
You are biggest fan.
Yeah.
Go on. Okay, so what do you want to talk about today? Do you want to talk about the transfer window or 25-man squad or both?
So say that again.
So what do you want to talk about today? Do you want to talk about the transfer window or do you want to talk about the 25-man squad? Or you can talk about both if you wish to.
I don't do like both, so you can get my opinion on it.
What do you think?
Yeah, go on, Dino.
I was just going to say, what do you think? Who's your favourite signing of the window, Mohammed? Is it Sangare like the rest of us?
To be honest, I think it has to be Sangare and Ilanga, as well because one Danny Johnson went. It was like it wasn't like a nightmare for Nottingham Forest. They had to like sell Jono to get Sangare. There's a really good deal to swap, only not swap deal. I'm just saying, like, we're getting money from Sangare. We're being him on deadline day. Jono's happy to leave. We're happy to let him go. And, and Jono, Spurs, please take good care of him. He's a really good player. He's going to get better over the years. And hopefully he can develop into some bigger clubs in the future.
So have you come to terms? So did you come to terms with Jono going quite quickly? Because like myself, I love him and I didn't want him to go. But when I understood that it meant we could get other players in like Sangare, I kind of came to terms with that. Was that the same journey for you?
Mate, he said yes before you finished the question.
Did he? Oh, bless him. Bless him. Has he just frozen, Mohammed? I think he's just frozen. I'm going to take you off stage for a second. Yeah, I'm just going to take you off stage for now. But yeah, great point you brought up about basically once we realized we had to sell Jono to be able to get these other top players in, you kind of accept it, don't you, Dino?
Yeah, you do. I think, I wanted Jono to stay because I think the best was yet to come of him over the next sort of 2, 3, 4 years. He's only a young lad. But when you look at how it wasn't just Sangare that we brought in off the back of that. He was obviously the marquee signing that needed to happen. But we've got you look at the squad, man. We've got some. I mean, that's a good squad. That's definitely a top half squad, if not beyond.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get Mohammed back on just so we can finish off his point. Let me bring him on. Oops, sorry. Sorry. We both clicked at the same time. Sorry, Mohammed. So yeah, so we were saying, Sangare you were really happy with, and Elanga. How do you think Elanga settled in?
He's got in quite quickly, actually. He's got a goal at Chelsea, got us a win. I think the best player in that game was Wall because he defended Nicholas Jackson's goal, and in the second half we got more bodies into the box, into the penalty on Chelsea. And Chelsea, they found their feet. Forest have been better than last season. We're starting to, get players going to the squad. Kluber's trying to pick the best starting 11 right now for the squad. And Burnley, and if we get Burnley on Monday night, that will declare if we are near Champions League football or if we need to pick up more points on the road or at home.
Well, so I know you were in the chat because I saw you in the chat when we did when myself, Dino, and Ant gave our teams over the weekend, and you've probably seen Wolverine's team as well. Any one of those that you'd start with against Burnley on Monday?
Well, we know that Julia and Ilanga are injured, so we need to work around this. So when I watch Wolverine's team lineup, so his team that he'll go with, his team, I thought of playing more than just one on the right wing, like really much right wing, and then you got Sundare in the 10, like goal, and then you put on it's either Yates, Mangala, or Santos next to Domingos, and I've gone for Yates. So Yates can really hold on that midfield and help us find Sundare, and maybe find Alameda to really, show these teams that we can find our feet in the Premier League.
I've got you on Yates, Mohammed. Same. I put Yates in my squad. To the dismay of these two. So yeah, I've got Yates in my squad.
No, we all love Yates here. Just just to get him in different formations. But Mohammed, we really appreciate your time. We've got a few guys waiting backstage, so we're going to let you go and we're going to get one of the other guys on. But thank you for all your support. You're always in the chat. You're always commenting. We really appreciate it. If you ever do go down to the games and you get a chance to, just give us a shout beforehand to the home games, and we'll meet up with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You take care. Look after yourself, and thank you so much for being the first guest on our new show. Really appreciate it. Take care, bud.
Take care, man.
See you soon.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we have got a few lined up already in the backstage. So let's bring the next one on straight away. And it's an old face. I haven't seen him for a while. We used to be neighbours, but I moved away. I moved up in the world. There we go, Tim.
Hey,
how you doing, bud?
nice
Right. Sorry, I should have given you a heads up. Sorry, I should just brought you straight on. I thought you would have got me from McClue's, mate. How you doing? How you keeping?
We're all good, buddy. Yeah, no, it's been it's been fun times. Like it's been great with the Forest thing. Has been really quite heartening. I think. Like as I said, obviously everyone's got their own individual situations and their own lives and stuff, but like with the way in which Forest have addressed this new season, and it was looking, and obviously I always keep in touch with FFTV, and I could see, we know Wolverine. He just
a prick. Sorry, I took words out of your mouth. Sorry, man.
Yeah, he was getting upset and he was becoming disturbed. But I think that's the word. He was becoming disturbed by a very, very real, a very tangible lack of excitement in terms of activity of the transfer window. There was rumours abound. I mean, I think I put a comment in his chat about maybe wrongly, I felt that when Johnson was left out pre-season, it was a kind of a setup for him to be sold. I kind of felt it was a protection mechanism. That may not have been the case because he did come on and actually play a game, I think, in pre-season. Exactly. So, but he went, right? But I think what we've done is like really good business. And I think the kind of the mystery element of the entire window will be, assuming that Sangare does what we expect him to do, which is just be a crusher. Like he's literally like he's a majestic player. He just prowls about. He does everything right, and as long as his head's right and he enjoys the experience of being in England and he gels with the ethos of the club, I don't see a reason or anything aside from injury that's going to stop him from becoming one of those players that people look at with awe. So I think really, and obviously with Dominguez again, and a bit of an unknown quantity from our perspective as UK viewers, but nothing, very, very well respected in Italy, and captain of Bologna, a team that always, I've actually one of my favourite Italian teams, and I've watched a bit of him, and he just is, he's a nightmare to play against. He reminded me a little bit, maybe not a very fair comparison because he might not be at that level, but the Mascherano guy that West Ham signed years back, and he played
Mascherano,
yeah, that
Mascherano.
The tenacity, his stamina is ridiculous. Like he's Ryan Yates with a little bit of extra adroitness and a bit of guile.
Yes.
Nothing against Yates. Like Yates has improved.
I agree,
but he will. Again, there's going to be a bedding in period, but as you know, the mystery, the joker in the pack, if you will, I think is going to be Hudson-Odoi, and it really is about, because if we have done business, which means that he's even, let's say, 85% of Johnson, and he might be better. That's a big ask. We've done really good business.
I would argue Hudson-Odoi at his best is better than Johnson, and even as a Jono fan, I'm arguing that
they are different. it's difficult to weirdly, because they can and often do play in the same position. They're not the easiest comparison piece for me because of the differences in the kind of the attributes that they have. Like Johnson's sort of flat speed is there. He literally, he can put it past the player, and he has got that kind of strength to be able to kind of wriggle his way into positions, get little penalties and stuff like that. Whereas Hudson-Odoi, when he was in his pomp, which sounds strange to say because he's only 22, but he was Chelsea said he was the best thing that ever come from their youth, whatever. So his star shone bright early doors, and obviously injuries have held him back. But if there is, if he can get to anywhere within what he was, I mean, then we've done really good business with that. I think because I think he's a slightly different kind of player, but I do think, and if we go back to last season and when we saw. And again, this is only speculation, but those last few games where Johnson wasn't playing, and there was a little bit of a run-in, I think, with his father and kind of some of the negativity that potentially came in one particular game from the Forest fans. I think that really that it was that might have set a tone for even the beginnings of a potential idea of moving. I mean, no one can know for sure because hindsight's a great thing. But I think. Do you
think there's been? Sorry to interrupt you. So, do you think there's been more? Do you think there's been more structure in this transfer windows in terms of the types of players and maybe even the levels? Because for me, it feels like we've gone that level higher than the players that we were looking at last season. Do you think it's been more structured this time around, despite the deadline day panic? Should I say?
I think there's two elements to that question, and the easy answer is yes, obviously, because I think that you can see the types. What I like, and again, Wolverine's brilliant for this. I mean, and again, so I'm kind of plagiarizing him to an extent. But one thing that is definitely notable in terms of the type that's been brought in, aside from the characters, which obviously are looked into, and I know that that's something that all clubs are having to do now, especially since Shelby, for example. But you can't bring in. You just can't bring in those types of people and hope that they're going to kind of gel. But it's the speed, the way we're bringing in pacey types, but it's the progressive carries that we've got players in all areas of the pitch now that obviously the central defenders might not emerge into the first team for the next X. But when you look at Sangare and you look at Dominguez and you look at Hudson-Odoi, and you even look at Origi, these are players that are comfortable with progressing the ball both passing wise and with the ball at feet. And so, I mean, and again, not to get too carried away and put too much pressure on Sangare, but I genuinely think that's the kind of the transformative element that should allow finally, pray to the heavens, that allows us to move into a system of or a strategy and a technical way of playing that actually puts us able to win midfield battles on a regular basis and actually dominate games.
Do you see him coming straight in?
I think so, yeah. I mean, again, Cooper's, we have to have faith that Cooper will look at the players that he's got at his disposal, and he will, he'll make judgments on the basis of that. Now, we know Cooper traditionally has his favourites, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's not a veiled criticism of Cooper. It's just that he trusts Yates and players of that ilk, and I know he trusts Mangala. It will literally be a case of whether or not I want. There's two sides to this. I think Burnley's an interesting match because of. It would be very easy for Cooper. Like Cooper, if let's imagine that Cooper's got a Jekyll and Hyde side to himself for one moment, which is I'm not so sure he does, but all human beings do in a sense. So let's go with the fact that he is somewhat torn between the devil and the deep blue sea. He could easily play the standard, pretty much the successful methodology that he's used this season, and probably like we did at Sheffield United, albeit we were a little bit fortunate, I think, in that game. And he can play the same kind of team, albeit maybe one new player, really, really slow integration, and probably beat Burnley. Not underestimating Burnley, but I could envisage Yates, for example, and nothing against Yates, of course, but I could see Yates playing in the midfield with perhaps Mangala, and then maybe a Dominguez or a Sangare coming in. And just stick and maybe playing with the three central defenders, maybe not, and just having a 1 year's the thing, and kind of playing a little bit low blockage and winning.
Reverting to type, basically.
But he could he could also know that he could probably get that win by going a bit more, by being braver and actually maybe playing Dominguez and Sangare, and even maybe giving Hudson-Odoi a start. Now, realistically, the odds are he's probably going to go somewhere in the middle of that. I would personally like to think that he would see this as a winnable game, and he would try to use this as a means of imbuing confidence in the team with a method that could be used for future home games. I don't see many better opportunities against a very low confidence Burnley, albeit the fact that they beat us in the League Cup, which I don't personally put much stock on. Yes, it will do more for them than it will for us, because they say we've been to the City Ground and won. But I think Sangare definitely will appear. Whether he starts, not so sure. I think we'll have much too much for Burnley, regardless of what Cooper does. Actually,
we have to at home, don't we?
Yeah.
We have to at home, really.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. I'm just going to bring a couple of. Mark, thank you very much. Got nothing to say, but it's £2. I love that. I love that.
Bless you, mate.
Straight down the line. And another one. I've got no to say either, Mark.
Well, if you've got nothing to say, appreciate your super chats. And guys, this is the only way me and Dino get paid. We had to start our own show, so if you do want to support us, please do so with a super chat or a super sticker, or just your presence here is helping us massively. But just to make sure that we can pay the bills, and please stick a super chat. See, it doesn't take much. These guys are amazing, honestly. They listen to everything. Bless you. Oh, thank you, Eddie. Eddie's bought me another pint. Yeah, if you want to buy us a coffee or anything, guys, we're more than happy to receive it. Tim, so in terms of our stream, and by the way, Stoney, I can see you in the background. I just acknowledge that you are there. We'll get you one as soon as, mate. Tim, in terms of your after this window, has it changed your perception of what you're expecting for the rest of the season, or even your excitement levels for the rest?
Well, funny you should mention that. I mean, not to promote any form of gambling, because I know that we're very much everybody has an so I'll make that clear. But the second the transfer window ended, the moment that we actually the Sangare signing got over the line, I phoned a good friend of mine, and I had a wager with him, and so we had a little bet. I won't reveal the amount because that wouldn't be relevant. But the idea was, let me just get this right in my mind. So I said that I felt that Forest would finish between 9th and 12th, and if that was the case and I win, 13th was a level playing field bet. 13th was a cutoff, so anything below 13th he wins, and anything above 13th I win. So that and at the beginning, so you get the point. At the beginning of the season, I would have probably said 14th, 15th, and I would have settled for that based on the squad. But I felt that I got the good end of this bet, because I personally
guys in the chat, you clip this. You know who to blame if it goes wrong. You know who to blame. Tim, you're a jinx, man. Why did you do? I told you.
What have I actually jinxed exactly? Because
we'll see. But I mean, you'd think 13, 14. That's should be par for this season. Shouldn't anything better than that? But looking at the squad, mate, I'll be hoping a little bit higher than that. But like I say, we have got a few guys in the back, Tim. I really appreciate you jumping on, man, and it's good to catch up with you again. I'm sure we'll catch up soon and go for a coffee. But
whenever you're ready, buddy. I know you're busy and all that stuff, but anytime, send me a text, send me a message, and we'll make a plan. And all good. And but just one last thing, of course.
Go for it.
Well done to all the guys who are promoting and pushing the FFTV content. It's becoming a kind of almost like a mainstay. It's a kind of a little bit like a kind of tuning into a soap opera that you kind of just get used to seeing. Do you know what I mean?
It's more like a rash, Tim, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like FFTV provide intelligent insight with humor, and that's not an easy balance to find. So well done. Continue on your quest, and all things being equal, your own success will run parallel to Forest resurgence, and quite frankly, I genuinely do believe that the timing of the rebranding that Wolverine, presumably it was Wolverine that put into process.
It wasn't.
No.
Well, whoever it was, right? Okay, well, that's what you guys know. But
I tried to tell you last time.
I think it's well. I think timing is everything in life, as we know, and you need a little bit of luck along the way. But I think that the stars have aligned so that you're going to go from strength to strength. Anyway, I'll let you get on. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. That's so lovely.
Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
Thank you, mate. Speak to you soon.
Before we bring Stoney in, can we just we've got another few?
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely.
Much love, my friend. Thanks for the 199.
I was going to say we gave Pat Butcher the night off. You can.
We've worn him out with the FPL streams. And oh my, 12 months, man. God.
Where's that gone, eh?
I know.
And we've got
Sharpie, thank you very much for the 2. Got loads to say, but not on Forest, mate. Right, okay, so if you've got a lot to say and not on Forest, on Friday we're having a members-only stream where we're not actually talking. Well, the plan is not to talk about Forest. The plan is to talk about Zorro. And those who know. Right? So we talk about all the other shit we get up to. You can talk about anything. I think the last time we did this, we talked about golf and all sorts of stuff. So, but we did have a right laugh. So we're doing that on Friday. So watch out for that one. Crypto.
Go on. You carry on.
Always got loads to say. Thank you, Crypto. Lemmy. Wait, can we say something in this stream? Mate, you're always welcome to say something.
No, you can't count as a guest, Lemmy. You're one of us, so you don't. Well, if we run out, I guess if we're struggling for content, we'll get you on.
Oh my, thank you very much. And Joe as well. Thank you. Did have something to say, but I forgot what. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised the way Ez rattles on.
Sorry.
And Nikki as well. Appreciate FTV, all of you. Thank you, Nikki.
Amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Love that
really appreciated. You don't understand how much appreciated that. And Tim made a nice comment there about the growth of FFTV and the fact that we're spawning out into different areas. It is hard work, but you guys and girls actually make it worthwhile. That's what
100%.
drives us. So I just need to say that, and that's the love coming back.
And that's the truth.
I'll
just quickly say, just add on to what you've just said there, and especially, I mean, myself and Dino, we've tried to set up our own channels, and if it hadn't been for the support from you guys from our main channel, Dino's actually been fantastic getting fans from Man U, Chelsea, all over the place, haven't you, with some of your videos? But you guys are you guys are the spark, you guys are the hub, you guys are the inspiration. So keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep trying to do what we're doing. But I'll let you bring our next guest on.
So there's a guy waiting for an interview in the background here. I think he's interviewing for the host job. Stoney,
hello,
Stoney, what are you doing?
I'm transfer specialist for the day.
Don't tell me you've been to a funeral, please. That'll ruin everything.
This is just an outfit for the thing. I'm transfer specialist
for that.
Hey, if it's a funeral,
I would have got changed. No, this is just for this. I don't have a tie though, so it kind of ruins the role. But
you can go
hey, lads.
How you doing, mate? You're all right.
Listen, chat. If you've not got a tie, you can't come on.
No.
I'm doing all right, to be fair. I think I said earlier that I wasn't as happy as a lot of people were with this transfer window, but I don't want to make that seem like I'm upset with this transfer window.
Okay, go on, moan away. Right. I want to hear you moan. Go on.
All right. So
I don't want to hear you moan, but
you have to do it in that voice.
I don't even know Jeff Sterling is, so I can't. All right. So I just think that with this transfer window, we needed to sell some players that we were not going to use. Like, look, we've sold. Hold on, let me get this up. I've got.
Let's bring it up on here. I'll bring it up on stage. Hold on. There you go.
Okay. Can you hold on?
Okay. Have you got something to bring up as well?
I've got the outgoings for this season.
Go for it.
Right, basically, if a lot of these are either free transfers or loan deals, there's players such as Freuler, there's players such as Cook, players that are never going to get any game time, but we're just holding on to them, trying to keep them, even though we don't need them. Like, we need to start making some money, start getting some stuff back some money back in the books. And then there's more players in the squad. Like, there's Chris Wood still. Like, he's still here. John Joe Shelby's still here. Like even some of the players that we like, players like Wayne Hennessy. Why did? As another issue, why is he not in the? Why is he in the squad? And then other goalkeepers that are better than him aren't.
Yeah, I mean,
like I would still back him even after the friendly game.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of one at a time. There,
Sorry, I've gone on a bit of a rant there.
It's obviously been vent up for a while, and you've just let it go. That's great. This is a couch session as well for everybody. Anybody that wants to vent. But yeah, Horvath has obviously been left out, and Hennessy's in. I think that's down to Horvath wanting first team football, and he's
probably
third in the pecking order. So that's probably down to a mutual thing. But he's still not got a club. Chris Wood. We're a bit light up front, Stoney, I think. Still.
Yeah, definitely.
Origi, Wood, and Awonye really as true forwards. So, and bearing in mind Sangare getting him over the line, like literally in the last hour of the transfer window night, as we well know, how close it was. I think ideally he would have wanted another striker. I still don't understand the Dennis thing. Kind of him not making a squad and letting him go. But what I didn't understand is Bianconi today. Bianconi's looks like he's on his way to Olympiacos.
That's where all the players we like to see go.
Oh, yeah. Like it's like a graveyard for Forest players.
It is. I think something you mentioned there, Dennis. I think that just highlights our issue with the wingers. Like we've got Dennis isn't in the squad. I'm on record as not being a huge Dennis fan, but I think having him as backup is still better than not having him there because we've only got Alanga and Hudson-Odoi. If either of those get injured, we have to switch formations if we're playing in the front three. It leads us into an area like where if we get any injuries like last season, we could end up in a bigger mess than last time. Like, because at least last year we had some players in the front line to replace injured players. Like, I mean, I won't say he's good, but Wood replaced Taiwo, and I don't think I was a huge fan of the false nine. So I think we've gone too defensive. Like, I think we needed more wingers, more attacking options, but we've got almost half of the
you can see the balance, can't you, there on the screen?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's mostly defenders there. So he's probably going to come. He's probably going to still go to a back five, isn't he? I think we've all kind of predicted a 4 in the last stream that we did, but I think he's still keen on this 5, which is why he's got so many defenders. We know we can play with one up. He plays with one up front, certainly away.
Notice the poll.
Just notice the what?
The poll, if they're overdressed or well dressed.
I've not seen that.
Right, I'm voting now.
I would say, is it fucking boiling?
You got your answer.
Well, last time we saw you on a stream, you were wearing Bermuda shorts and a Hawaiian top, weren't you?
Oh, yes, of course it was our party stream, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Arsenal game.
Yeah, it was.
But Stoney, don't you think the under-21s, the ones on the right there, actually he's played a bit of a blinder there because Murillo and Alanga and Obi-Wan Kenobi are all. I can't say his name, so I just call him something slightly different each time.
I think it's Omabamidele.
Omabamidele.
Something like that. Yeah. That's right.
I'm going to really struggle. I hope Felipe plays, to be honest, and I don't have to say this guy's name. He's going to be a hero of mine, no worries.
Just listen to what the commentators say.
Good in the pre-season, didn't he? The left back, a bit Pierce-like.
Yeah,
and we've got Christina Aguilera, obviously Wolverine's favourite. But yeah, I mean that's a few extra players there, isn't it? So I don't think the squad depth is that bad. I think we're just missing a striker. But you know what, Stoney? So many clubs are missing more than one piece, and I think we've had a really good window. I don't know if you agree with that.
Like I said at the start, the window's truly been great. I'm just nitpicking at this point. I think I'm really excited to see these under-21 players like that we got on deadline day. Murillo's looking great. Omabamidele, I'm having the same problem, but I reckon he's going to come good, and he'll probably be another cash cow that we can sell for 50 million. Aguilera,
I've just noticed something actually. Santos isn't there, is he?
He's under 21.
He's on under
think.
21s.
So he should
Yeah,
have been on
well,
the,
yeah, you
there's
haven't
another
put him
one
in,
there,
yeah.
Santos.
Yeah, he should be there as well. Yeah, but he was in our under 21 squad announced. But just a quick one. So we got a poll in the chat, as you know. At the moment, mate, it's pretty 50-50. It's overdressed or well dressed. 51% are saying overdressed, mate. So you're on the borderline.
To be
a quick
fair,
reminder, guys. Sorry, just to interrupt you for a second. Just a quick reminder. If you are backstage, we just need you to have your camera on backstage, and then once we've identified you, we will bring you on before. But just from a security point of view, make sure, please, that you got your cameras on backstage. Otherwise, I won't be able to bring you on. You
just to make sure you're not dressed in a black suit, something like that.
or cat suit, whatever floats your boat. You know? But yeah, it's bang on 50-50 now. But well, you've done well, mate. You've put us to shame, which is not hard, to be honest. The way me and Dino dress nowadays is
it was honestly just a stupid idea that I had. Like I just saw my
like
suit and I was like,
your ideas.
yeah,
With
especially with my FPL team, stupid idea.
Sorry, you set the standards now.
Yeah, everyone has to.
So last one was beachwear. This one's a suit. God knows what your next one's going to be.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll see it in the member stream on a Friday night. I don't know.
Ooh. We'll see. I'll keep you in anticipation.
Cool.
Can't drop spoilers.
Right. You've got school tomorrow, haven't you?
No, I don't actually. I've got 2 days off. But,
hey!
but I do have stuff to do, so I probably am gonna have to get off.
No, but we really appreciate you coming on, mate, and you keep supporting the shows like you do. I see you in all the streams. I will, if you're up for it, mate. I'll get you on an FPL stream soon. So sort your team out. I'll let me know what's your team name, by the way. I'll look it up.
I don't know.
Undertakers.
I don't know.
Okay,
I'll have a look in a minute.
I'll have a look and pop it in the chat, and I'll check it out. And on the next FPL stream, I'll give you a shout out. And I'll go
Stoney's Undertakers.
Stoney's Undertakers. I might change it to that just because it's funny.
You can't change it.
Yeah, I'll do that now. I'll do that now.
Bless you, mate. Well, really appreciate you coming on. Like I say, it's our first show. Hopefully, a first show of many, because it's a chance for you guys to give your voices and opinions. So I don't know if it'll be a weekly thing. Maybe we'll do it every international break. But we'll see going forward.
Yeah,
it's all down to you guys. If
Yeah.
the demand's there, if you guys want it, then just give us a shout. We definitely are more receptive than most fan channels. You know, we do listen to our supporters, and we do take that on board. But also, hopefully, I mean, it probably passed your watershed, but you'll probably be in a member stream, won't you, on Friday? But yeah, we'll see you there, mate. Appreciate you jumping on tonight. Of that person backstage has disappeared now. Anyway. Yeah, go on. No, carry on.
What I will say, you've given us idiots too much responsibility in this stream.
Well, you know, sometimes people influence you when you watch them.
Yeah,
I think Mark's been influenced by my dad jokes because he's just dropped one in there that's like made me cringe. Mark.
Oh no,
that's granddad joke. That's like next generation joke, and that's not a good way.
Oh,
bless you. But yeah, I really appreciate your time, Stoney, mate. Make sure that you keep following, keep watching, and keep commenting as well, because we really appreciate your comments and your interaction. But yeah, look after yourself, mate, and we'll catch up soon.
See you.
Take care.
Bye. See you, Stoney. Take care, brother. Right, let's get some comments in from the chat.
Go for it. Matty in the background, if you just stick on your camera for a second, mate, before I bring you on, and I will bring you on. But yeah, Dino, you go through the chat.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Fill for time.
Yeah, okay. So
tell them about what's coming up for the week. Oh, well, let's have a little teaser about what's happening at the weekend.
Yes, giving too much away. Without giving too much away, go on then. You traverse that minefield, mate.
Okay, who in the chat likes Soccer Saturday?
Yeah, that's what we need to know.
That's all you need to know. And watch out this weekend for a brand new show.
Yeah. So yeah, if you like Soccer Saturday or like the format of Soccer Saturday, yeah. Watch out for. Make sure you got the notifications bell switched on, which is the first thing. On all 3 channels, because it might not be on this channel. So just make sure you got all your notifications switched on. We've got a show lined up for you guys this weekend. Reason we haven't said too much. It's still literally in the pipeline, isn't it? We literally thought of it a couple of days ago, and we're trying to make it work. But do look out for it. And like I say, make sure you got the notifications. You subscribe to all 3 channels. Obviously, the main FFTV channel, which is where you are right now. Dino's amazing high press channel, which is just going from strength to strength. Honestly, Dino, I'm not blowing smoke, mate. Your videos are just next level at the moment. So if you haven't checked out his latest stuff, no, it's definitely really informative, enjoyable, little bit of humor as well. If you got to have a certain sense of humor to get all of his jokes.
To get my jokes,
at a certain age, and but make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you got the notifications bell. And of course, my own channel, the FFTV Premier League channel. Make sure, like I say again, subscribe, hit the notifications button, because you do not know which channel we're going to be showing the show on, but we'll all be involved. Just bring up some of the chat that may have cottoned on to what we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll definitely do something. We did have somebody in the back, but he's having connection issues.
Just quickly about the FPL stream chat. Just quickly about the FPL stream chat. As a slightly changed direction on it in terms of he's providing like the secrets of what the top pros do, and that's really, really good. And we did a show. He did a show this week, which I got a lot from. I'm still shit at the game, but at least I can try with like proper strategy now.
Definitely. It gives you a few more options where you can basically get some of the hints and tips that I've been picking up along the way. And I think I'm doing all right. Third in the league, I'm not doing too bad. I'm right
third
up.
In Europe, not bad.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Whenever you're ready, Dino, let's bring the next young man on.
Hello,
Matty, how are you? Long time no see.
I know, it's been a while. Is everything working? Because it's been really buggy for me.
Your sound's next level.
It's working now. But your voice, your balls have dropped since you last spoke, mate. Your voice.
Oh God, I dread to think what I used to sound like then.
Your balls have dropped. One intro. God, sorry.
Oh, bless you. But how are you, Matty? How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Really well.
Fine.
Matty Cash. I wish I was Matty Cash.
Bless you. Right. So, which one do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about a 25-man squad, or do you want to talk about the transfer window? Let's start with the transfer window, because I'd love to get your feedback, because you are the younger generation. This is as good as you've ever seen it from Forest. How excited are you at the moment?
I'm very excited. It's definitely the best. It was really exciting to see everything through Romano as well as FFTV, just everything coming through, so many links. Even compared to last season, I think even though we didn't make as many signings, we had a lot more links to players from everywhere. We had Che Adams at some point we were linked with. That was about 2 months ago. And just random signings. It was... So you didn't know who's going to sign. You didn't know if one was just some random rumour or if they were actually going to go and sign them. But I think the ones we did end up signing, I think we've had one of the best windows in the Prem, which for a club of... Since we were in the Championship 2 years ago, I think that's something that... I don't know how Marinakis has pulled it off.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I just got to interrupt you while talking about pulling things off. Right. There's another poll in the chat. Guys, get involved. Oh, God. Honestly,
who's put that?
What is it? I can't see it. What's it saying?
As my balls dropped.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. But yeah, so I mean, like you said, this is as exciting as you've ever seen in terms of a Forest
definitely, yeah,
transfer window in Forest in the Premier League. Which of the players? In fact, no. I'm going to go back to a question I asked Stoney as well. No, in fact, asked Mohammed. There's a bit of an echo there, so I'm just going to mute you for a second while I ask the question. In terms of Brennan Johnson, obviously he had to go. Did you come to terms with it early on, or are you still? Do you still wish we'd kept hold of him, as well as obviously managed to get the players in, or do you understand that this is what had to happen for us to be able to get the signings that we did get in? You're on.
I've put on echo cancellation, so that might have helped. Is that Does that sound any better?
Let's see.
Better.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Better,
go ahead. So
okay.
yeah, are you sad to see him go, or do you understand why we had to make that move?
I'm very sad to see him go, and I think for FFP as well as also general profit, it was probably a smart idea. I think if we could have just got one more season out of him, I think that's all we needed. It was also upsetting because I don't think it's great for his career. We saw what happened to Spence. It didn't go well for him. And I have a mate who's a Tottenham fan, and he says a lot about that Postecoglou wanted him, so he doesn't think a Spence situation will happen because Conte didn't want Spence, but manager this time wanted Johnson. So he thinks he's actually going to get implemented over someone like Richarlison. And if that does happen, I think he might succeed there, but I still think the pressure of a Big Six team might get to him, especially because he's still really young. We don't usually see him as that because he was quite an experienced Forest player, but he's still very young.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we forget how, because he obviously, once he was in the Forest squad, he never really was dropped out, so we saw two seasons of him playing consistently for Forest. And then you do get, you have some sort of sentiment towards these players. But at the end of the day, with Forest, for me growing up, and it would be the same for Dino as well, watching him in a Premier League and certainly
in black and white.
In black and white. But Forest have been a selling club for most of our lives, and we're still at that level. But I think, this one made more sense than some of the sales we've made down the years, and it had to happen to get the players in. So, of our new signings, which one? And you can't say Sangare, other than Sangare, who's really, really exciting you, or you're looking forward to watching the most?
I think the most under the radar one was Vlachodimos. I'm really excited for him because I don't think people realize that he played, I think, so it's 225 games for Benfica. And then I can't remember his name off the top of my head now, but a new keeper came in, I think, about a year ago. He's been dropped to second place now. But in those 200 games, he only conceded about 213 goals. Which is ridiculous, and his distribution.
He's done his research.
Yeah, and his distribution is it's not like an Alisson, or he's not one. He's not going to be one of the best in the world, but he's a very good all-rounder keeper. He's very modern. And I think as much as I've been impressed with Matt Turner, I think for someone who's never really properly had a position in the Prem, he's done very well for us.
Would you be surprised if Vlachodimos is straight in from a Burnley game?
I could see both happening because one's a new signing. It's a really high profile one. So I can see him coming in instantly. But I could also see Cooper saying Turner hasn't stepped a foot wrong.
Sorry, mate. Distraction, isn't it?
It's all right.
Usually it's you in the comments, but we'll be getting our own back on you this time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I think Turner, he's definitely deserved to start, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cooper starts him. But I think if Turner either has an injury or Cooper just wants him straight in, I think he will be better than Henderson. I think within the next couple of months, we'll be loving him as much as we did for Henderson after the Wolves games or the Liverpool games.
Or Turner. You're talking about Turner.
Oh, what? Sorry.
You say Vlachodimos or Turk? Well, as I said, Shakadimas, but. Are you Turner then, or were you talking about Vlachodimos there?
Turner, I think I could see Turner starting still for a bit.
Yeah.
He's not done anything wrong, but in my opinion, Vlachodimos should be starting because he's even though he's not been first at Benfica for a bit now, he's top quality. There's a reason he starts for Greece.
This is true. Right, stay on, Matty. Stay on with you. I'm just going to bring just to balance the age range out. Mark, you give us a thumbs up, mate. We've got young Mark in. You're on mute, my friend.
His balls have definitely dropped.
That's it. So let's get this vibe going with four of us in now. How are you, Mark? Good?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, just can't wait for Premier League to start again.
Oh, God. International breaks. Matty, do you get it? Do you
horrible,
get it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know anybody that actually likes the international
football. The only
football
games you can watch are just boring Southgate ball. and those are the only ones you can really look forward to. It's not.
And then we've got another one in a couple of weeks as well, haven't we?
Yeah, 4 weeks, and then there's another international break.
Only
So
4
we're
weeks?
not. Yeah,
Another friendly against Australia.
Yeah.
And then I think that's on a Friday night. Then we play Italy on the following Tuesday.
Yeah. I've got no time for them personally.
Mark, you as excited as everyone so far about the window and the squad announcement today. Did you see the squad announcement?
Yeah, I've been having a quick look at it this afternoon after I'd finished work. So no great surprises in there.
No.
I think the only disappointing thing for me is I'd have liked to see him be in Coney at one point get a run out, because
same.
He's not had a chance really to show us what he's made of. Because I was watching his videos of his rehabilitation and that, so I was quite looking forward to seeing him again. But we got
the videos that started like 8 months ago. The rehabilitation, we looked almost ready to play, didn't he? But it's a shame, because the glimpses we saw of him, he looked okay. But he's going to our sister club anyway, isn't he? Olympiacos, by the look of it.
Yeah,
Forest B squad, as we'll now call them.
Yeah, I think
we could have Shelby, because he's not got a club, has he? And he's not in the 25. So what's
George or John Joe?
Oh,
John Joe.
I blanked that one out.
Yeah.
I only mentioned because he's a fellow Baldy.
Yeah, I'm just surprised George Shelby's not somewhere around the squad, because it's not all that long since they gave him a contract.
No, absolutely. I thought it would have made more sense to have him in with two decent goalkeepers and make that part of his, his learning, because he's going to be training with them day in, day out. You'll be certainly watching how they're performing in and out of the team. I think it would have been great. It just made sense. Why would you have a goalkeeper the age of Hennessy, who's really not going to have any chance of getting any game time, rather than, unless they must have a plan. It makes me think they must have a plan for George Shelby and somewhere for him to go, because otherwise, for me, it doesn't make sense not to have him in that squad learning with the more experienced goalkeepers.
Well, he's not even listed in the under-21 squad.
No. So this is a strange one.
But Shelby isn't. George Shelby.
George Shelby,
he's going to be loaned, and he's going to be loaned, I think. I mean, the loan window's a lot longer, isn't it, after the main transfer window shuts for champions and championship and below. So, Lemmy, just put your camera on, mate. Just know that you're ready. I'm going to bring you in as well. We don't want to go on forever tonight, guys. So, I want to let's get
get him in.
Let's get everybody.
Lemmy, whenever you're ready, mate. If you can leave your camera off if you want to. It's up to you.
Right, let's see what that looks. All right. How you doing, Lemmy? All right.
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Yeah.
Background lurker, Forest old boy, random teenager. You guys are so creative in the chat. I mean, we mentioned balls once, and there must be it's like the Zorro thing all over again. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Right?
Yeah, watch out for that.
Are you boys going to be in on Friday night on our membership stream where we just chat rubbish? I mean, we chat rubbish anyway, to be fair. Where we chat rubbish away from football.
I could chat rubbish with the best of them, so yeah.
Come on,
definitely, mate. We're not arguing with that.
You know what, Sharpie? He's not only young, he's the tallest guy. When we're all sitting down, we all look short, but only really Ez is short, right? In IRL, that's what the kids say, isn't it, Matty? Or do they say that anymore? Okay. Kids from a generation ago used to say IRL in real life, right? Lemmy is so bloody tall. How tall? 6'5"?
Yeah, 6'5".
It was embarrassing. The first time I met him, it was at a pre-season game at Notts County. He was sat down and then he stood up. I said, "Sit back down, mate."
Yeah, it was like going to a circus, watching them two walking together. Anyway, sorry, Ez, you carry on.
Anyway, I was just going to we haven't got Mark's opinions yet on the transfer. So, Mark, I mean, how did you feel the transfer window went? And is there any player that really stood out? And again, you can't say Sangare. Other than Sangare, which players really are you excited about, or are you interested to see more of?
A few of them I don't really know too much about, only through highlight reels and that I've seen. But out of the signings we've made, not just, the end of the transfer window, but Elanga, for me, it's been the one. I saw him when he came on the pre-season friendly. I went to watch as against Leeds at Burton's ground, and he ran from the halfway line to retrieve a ball that was just about to go out on the goal line, and I thought he's just as fast as Jono, you know. So and then we've seen already what he can do on the pitch.
Jono's speed's actually really, really fast, isn't it? But I don't think they do it with the ball, do they? They just do it running. So it's doing it with the ball that's different. So Elanga does look a bit nifty to me. I mean, Lemmy and Matty, you were nodding your heads there about Elanga. Do you think this guy just needs a run in the team at 18 without any breaks like he had at Man U?
Oh yeah, he should be starting. I think after the Arsenal game, he should have been starting. He showed it. I've completely forgot he signed this summer. He's a bit like Madsen, where he feels like he's always been there. He fits into the squad so well. He's already got amazing chemistry with Awoniyi. He just fits in so well.
Right, this is a good one. DJ 10, nobody mentions Montiel. You're right, because he's kind of not gone under the radar. I think he was a kind of bit overshadowed by Sangare. So, Lemmy, Montiel, have you seen much of him? Do you think he'll actually get past the two in front? When I say the two in front, the two that was in front of him last year in Nico, number 1, and Serge, number 2. That's a joke, by the way.
I mean, I think that's probably the reason why it's kind of gone under the radar. All the ones that we're kind of ranting and raving about are either ones that we didn't have anyone in that position, or we've already replaced them and we've seen how that replacement's working. We've brought in the guy who scored the winning penalty for Argentina's World Cup and Messi's World Cup to make him arguably the greatest of all time. And we're overshadowing him because we don't know he's going to be a guaranteed starter, because he's in probably the one position that's most fiercely fought for in our squad, because we've just got so much depth in that one position. I'd like to think that he's been brought in as the long-term idea, because obviously we brought in Aurier as the kind of one season, make sure that we stay up in the league, and then we'll add an extension as long as we don't get relegated. And I think Nico Williams was kind of one of the early signs that we made last year, just to try and just part of that scattergun approach of we have to sign a load of players in a load of different positions. So that's one of the reasons why we kind of brought him in. So I think Montiel is kind of the long-term view of who we need in that position. So I'd like to think that he's going to be, if not the next couple of games, he's going to be the starting right back or right wing back in about a month or 2 months' time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I think once he's in, he'll stay in. I will just bring up this super chat quickly before I forget. God. Right, so I would bring it up. There we go. Just a quick one.
I was hoping you would have forgotten about
that. Can you say that, Matty? Just for crypto, please. Into the camera.
Oh God. This isn't getting clipped, is it?
Of course it is. Everybody's on their fingers on the mouse now.
Yeah. The British icon redefined. There you go.
Bless you.
I'm expecting you guys to my PayPal now.
Well, right. I'm gonna switch you out, mate. We got another guest in the background. Should we bring? No, we'll get rid of what.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. More of a merrier. Mr. Collis, give us a thumbs up if you're ready. Ready to bring you on.
I've got a question for you. What does the G stand for?
Gareth.
Hey, finally we know.
Nice to meet you, Gareth.
Nothing special.
Who's with you, Gareth?
That's my son, Aston. He's a big Forest
fan.
Hello,
Aston. You all right?
Yeah.
Nice to have you on.
He's a bit shy.
Bless him. But good to have you on, mate. We've had you in the chat plenty of times. Great to actually get you on. Floor's all yours, mate. Give us your opinions on, first off, on transfer window and the business we did, and then we'll get on to the 25-man squad.
Well, how can you complain about that transfer window?
Yeah, exactly.
Very exciting. Can't wait to see the team play. It was a shame about the international break, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's probably not come at a good time. Although you can say actually these players can bed in a bit more in training.
Yeah,
stuff.
That's why
it always worries me when they're off training because they get injured.
Yeah, there's benefits to it, but we just want to see them play, don't we?
We do. Desperate.
Especially
Well, we've not got long
Sangare.
to wait. Are you there on Monday?
No, we can't get tickets. We went to the Burnley game. We get to the cup games, but that's it. We can't get tickets for the league games. It's near on impossible, isn't it?
It's a real shame because, especially, I mean, for your boy as well, you know, the younger generation needs to be able to get to these games.
Yeah.
I've said this story before, you know,
Yeah,
when I was growing up, if I didn't get to, if I didn't get to go and see the players that I idolized, you know, I might not have had that connection that I've had, you know, and 30 years later or more, I'm still supporting Forest because I had that connection by watching the play. So it's something they really need to do something about soon. Have you, so apart from cup games, you not managed to get to any league games since
No, not
the
last year. We just went to the cup games. That was it. It's the only time we can get down there, really. I mean, when I was his age, we could get tickets pretty easy. Even when we was in the Premier League, we could still get tickets. But that just proves how popular we are now, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're still relatively young though. But Mark, sorry to point to you. Come off mute. Can you remember when we were all standing at the City Ground? Was it 42,500?
Yeah. I'm not quite that old, but
no, that's what I'm saying. You're a bit young for that. But me and Mark could probably remember that standing at the Cop End, which is now the Bridgeford.
I was getting wet. Boot boy.
Oh yeah, Trent End, yeah. So my dad started taking me on the Cop, and there was like no roof, so you know you get absolutely drenched. But yeah, Trent End was brilliant atmosphere for a cowshed. It was incredible.
Yeah, I love the Trent End. £4 it was, no ticket.
Yeah.
As long as you got down there early enough, you got in.
Yeah. I do miss the smell of beer farts in the Trent End, I have to say. Again, if you know, you know.
Again, yeah, if you know, you know. 25-man squad then, Gareth. What did you think of it? Is there any players that you were surprised were omitted, or are you quite happy with what we've ended up with?
I'm not bothered about who's been omitted, really, because none of them are going to play anyway, were they? But just like you lads, really, we could have done with maybe another winger, someone to replace MGW, maybe. But besides that, yeah, really happy, really. Can't wait. Just can't wait.
Fantastic.
Are you, Lemmy, are you happy with the squad in all? What do you think of Biancone being left out and Dennis probably exiting at this point?
I mean, it's probably another one of those where it's going to be another similar to Mbe, so not below Farday, where we kind of signed him and then we've just not used him. It seemed like it was one of the like first 2 or 3 signings that we made in the summer of last year. It was just when we were kind of excited to be in the Premier League and just buying almost anyone that was available that we thought would be good to fit. And then after we signed 20 plus players, we were then trying and testing who's our best 11, and he just never really seemed to get a chance. I think he got one opportunity and then he obviously had his big injury. So he just felt like he was always going to be on the chopping block, really, because we had to start thinning it down when we started signing again this summer. So it's harsh, but I felt like it is the only thing that we really could do just to make sure that we were balancing out the squad.
Mark, do you think there's going to be some players that miss out like they kind of missed out last year? You know, like the Dennis is not getting many starts and people like that. Do you think this current crop of people that we've bought in the transfer window, any of them, like Montiel was mentioned in the chat earlier, might sort of not get any games and then fall by the wayside in the next transfer window or two?
Yeah, it's difficult because some of them, their English probably isn't the best. So I think they're going to be drip fed in anyway. I mean, even Sangare's, as we know, is got no English really. He's French. So although everyone's clamouring for him to be brought in, again, he might just be drip fed in. Montiel, I've got a bit of a view of him because he played in the Burnley Cup match, and I was in the main stand. I was in the main stand that night, so I had a pretty good view of him running down. He was keen as mustard to get the ball. He was calling for it to be thrown out to him by the goalie, and he never really got it. But yeah, I think, and we've got that many, haven't we? I was surprised by how many we signed actually, because we've all been saying after last season we wanted quality, not quantity. So I just thought it'd be just 2 or 3, and I knew Sangare was the main one we were trying to sign. But yeah, to get 11 in altogether, it was that was a little surprising. So again, I'm thinking some of them probably are going to miss out a bit.
I think so too. Yeah, it's nice that Forest always keep us entertained in any transfer window, even though we thought it was going to be a dead one. Overall, Matty, in the transfer window, what do you think overall out of 10 the transfer window for the summer one?
I think for the incomings, I think they're all good except the fullbacks, Nuno Tavares and Gonzalo Montiel. I think those will be. We'll need to see how they perform before we can judge them.
Fair play.
As well as I'm not going to try and say his name.
Omobamidele.
And Murillo. But I think they're more future signings. I don't get the fullback ones, but if they're good, they're good. But the rest of it, I would give probably an 8 out or 8.5. I think Sangara and Alanga are just such good signings.
Let's carry on from that then. We'll go round, guys. So I mean, Matty said 8 out of 10. I'll go to Mark next, and then we'll move round. Give us your ratings on the transfer business we've done. Let's call the entire summer transfer window from the end of the last season. What's your rating?
Get ready, Aston. We'll come to you last.
Yeah, out of 10. Go on, Mark.
I think I've got 2 rated. So for incomings, I'd probably say a 9, and outgoings maybe 6. I think the outgoings has let us down a bit.
Not enough outgoing.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, who wanted them really?
And that's the issue.
Yeah, but we knew
you could have had Lingard for a year. We'd still have him now. Nobody wants him.
Yeah. And you still got like Arthur still on the books as well.
Oh God, don't.
Yeah,
things are going well until that point tonight.
Yeah, you're asking for a rating,
don't they? Just to ruin it all.
Go on, average out your rating, because you're given different scores obviously for each part of it. But if you average overall, how was this transfer window for you, Mark?
You'd probably have to make it 7 then for me.
7 for you. Go on then, Lemmy. Give us your ratings, and you can speak in and outgoings if you want to.
Yeah, I think that's a good point that Mark brought up on outgoings. I've just had a quick look just to see exactly who's left and kind of what we're looking at. Most of the guys who have left have either gone to obviously Olympiacos or is out on loan, which isn't great. We could have done with getting more money out of those. So that's kind of knocking it down a little bit. As well as I wasn't keen on the fact that we kind of left all of our business until pretty much transfer deadline day, which made for a really exciting day, but would have been nice to try and get them all through throughout the entire window so we could start getting them bedded in throughout pre-season and really get the season kicked off with them all. But overall, in terms of the guys that were brought in, I think they're all filling a role that's needed. I know what Matty said about the fullbacks being a bit of an issue, but I feel they are kind of justified in just having competition in those positions. Toffolo's out now for, I can't remember exactly how many games it said, but it was like 300 odd breaches that he's got in the betting that he was done for. So he's out now. So that's
he got suspended.
Yeah.
Was it match fixing or was it just
not out?
Just betting, I think.
Okay.
Exactly the same as what Tony got done for, but he's out on.
No, he got 5 months suspended, so he's not out.
Really? It could have been that.
Yeah,
okay. So
suspended sentence. Yeah.
I don't know why he's
so
put in the
bets
squad
again,
when
then
he's suspended.
gets caught doing it again, and then they'll serve some sort of punishment like Tony would. Okay, so that's why he's in the squad. That did surprise me actually.
Unfortunately, it's because of the 25-man squad. You got to have 8 homegrown players, and we had to get him in as one of the homegrown players, and that's the reason why he was named in the squad. But obviously, he's not going to play any game time at all. But so did you give us an overall rating then, Lemmy?
I'd go with an 8 as well. Just sum it up and move it on.
Yeah, just going back on the Toffolo thing, they took into account that he'd been getting a lot of help for his betting addiction and all the work that had been done around that, and that's why it was suspended rather than him just getting a straight ban.
Yeah, that does. I understand that. Right, we'll go on to Gareth and Ashton. Guys, give us. We've got a bit of crackling in the background. Hang on a sec. Let me just mute.
It's my lad's music, mate. I'm going to turn it off now.
No worries. Go on then, Gareth. Give us your opinion on the transfer window. Your rating out of 10, and then we'll go to Ashton as well. For his,
incomings, I'd give it at least an 8 or a 9. And outgoings, I don't know why people obsess about the outgoings. I really don't care about the outgoings. Honestly, they either weren't going to play or they're gone anyway. So
yeah, you're a bit like Ant like that. He's like, as soon as they're not playing and they've gone, they're dead to him. So yeah,
they were never going to play anyway. These players that were all right, like Stoney was saying, why haven't we sold them? It's because no one wants them. Simple. You can't force these players onto clubs. So unfortunately, they're probably going to be paying the wages for a few years. And the best thing you can do is loan them out.
Yeah, and that's the reason. And that's the reason to try and get them up a books. Like we just mentioned, they have massive wages. That's what's costing us on FFP. It's got to give us an issue.
It's working too hard on FPL. Thumbnails at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So, what are you going to give it as a rating then, Gareth? Out of
I'll give it an 8. An 8 overall.
An 8. Yeah. Ashton, any advance on that one, mate? You going higher or lower for your boy? Sorry, what's his?
Oh, do you sorry, want to give Aston. Sorry, Aston. The transfer market, mate.
What did you think? 8 out of 10.
7. I don't think he was listening, to be honest.
Oh,
a 7.
7.
Bless you. No, thank you guys. We really appreciate everybody who jumped on all the conversations in the chat. You guys keep going because you guys can have a conversation amongst yourselves in the chat, but really appreciate everybody who's jumped on today. We were going to do an hour. We've gone a little bit over, but we do appreciate that. Guys, if you want to see more of this, just let us know because we're totally playing this by ear. This is obviously a new show, Dialing with Ez and Dino. We'll keep it regular. We'll try and make sure that you guys are giving a heads up, but if there's a big game, if there's a big result or whatever, and you guys are desperate to get on, give us a shout and I'll try and get Dino ready and we'll get this show set up. But really do appreciate everybody who's joined us today. Thank you for your time. Dino, any parting comments before we
thank you. We've got diverse opinions on here. It's great to see, lovely to see. I like this format. Just let us know in the chat or in the comments after if you like bringing on multiple people at once, which I think is quite nice to bounce off each other. Thank you for all the subs and the super chats that you gave us. Really appreciate it. And we'll try and keep the content keep coming for you. And trust me, we work long into the morning most days, if not
really do,
and so we do. It is an effort to keep up with the content, but we are committed, and we appreciate your commitment as well. Thank you.
I'll just give a quick shout out to Mohammed who joined us earlier and to Stoney as well. Really appreciate you guys jumping on. But thank you guys. Do watch out. Keep your notifications switched on. Like I said, for all 3 channels, we've got a new show. Hopefully this weekend, but we're not going to tell you which channel it's on. So make sure you subscribe to all and you've got notifications on all. But look, appreciate everybody's involvement and we'll see you guys again soon. Come on, you Reds.
To Europe.
See you Friday.